It is time for a battle of the tropes. Hi there, my name is Crystal, and this is Books Forever After, where I sit on my floor, we talk about everything and all things books. So today is a very exciting collab video with Jess from HonestFiction. I will link her video and her channel down below so you can check her out. So this collab kind of came a roundabout way. Jess was asking for recommendations for video ideas on her Instagram, and I had put in Battle of the Tropes. Because I had a inspiration that came down from inspiration from XO Joe. I will link her channel down below as well. She has been doing during her live sprints, some games, and one of the games was like, would you rather, between two different kinds of tropes. And so people would pick which trope they would actually want in real life. So that was a really fun game. And I was thinking, I'm like, well, what would you do? Okay, what about book recommendations? So just chance, put all like your favorite tropes and have like a battle of your favorite tropes, and whichever one you would choose for real life, you give a book recommendation for. And try not to repeat answers. So that's gonna be really hard. So you're gonna see a little bit of me being tortured trying to choose which trope, let alone a trope that matches. So I don't know how this is gonna turn out. I have some ideas on some books that I have here. I have no idea. This is gonna be really hard. So yeah, so let's get started. So I have a spinner wheel here, and I will try to do a screen grab. I am not tech at all, like, we'll see if this works. All right, so screen recording. All right, so I'm gonna do the first spin here. Okay, enemies to lovers. Illicit tryst. Okay, let me think. Enemies to lovers or illicit tryst? I think I would, in real life, I don't think I would get with somebody who was my enemy. I don't know, I feel like it's such like more prevalent in like fantasy. Maybe there's like rivals to lovers and that kind of thing. But I don't know, I would be too introvert to even get with someone that was my enemy. I'm gonna have to say probably illicit tryst. So this is like, you know, having fun secretly in gardens and such like that for historicals. So let me think. Let me think on that. Okay. I think I just read this for the Romance Fairython, so I think I'm gonna go with The Countess by Lindsay Sands. So this was very like Earl How to Die kind of vibes. Very funny. It was very light, kind of funny. It did kind of like hint at I want to say it leaned more on like the plot and the characters than the fun part of it, and the hijinks, necessarily the romance, but there was like they got together I think 30% in, so I think that's kind of why it kind of fizzled out a little bit, the whole back and forth thing. So basically this follows Christiana. She is married to this horrible Earl. He treats her badly. He's very verbally abusive and just has her so restricted away from her friends, her family, and that kind of a thing. And what happens is she discovers him dead in the library at one time, and her sisters help kind of, this is where the hijinks is, puts it on ice. Puts him on ice. And at the same time, the real Earl appears, because they are twin brothers. And he has his own hijinks on finding out that his brother is dead and that kind of a thing. So hijinks ensues. There's a lot of the illicit tryst is when they have illicit tryst, I think in like a closet or something like that. trying to like discover like they have this passion for each other in very interesting places, all while this is all going on for the past week and that kind of thing. So it was a lot of fun. The sisters banter in this was great. And the kind of like sneaking around the Lycitrus that way was great as well. So yes, I do recommend this one. This was a 4-star for me. All right, round 2. Okay, forced proximity. Or time travel. Okay. I love both, obviously. This is so hard to choose. I think in real life, even though the concept is very cool, I think time travel would be very scary and nerve-wracking. Especially if we're going anywhere in the past. Women, and it's just not a good time for us. It's not even a good time for us now. So, I mean, while cool and ideal in that way, in concept, the reality probably would not be as fun. So I'm gonna have to go with forced proximity. And okay, I have one here. I'm gonna go with, and this is totally out of ballpark, this is not historical romance, this is young adults paranormal. This is the Mediator series by Meg Cabot. So this is book 1, Shadowland. I have reread this multiple times. I love this series. This follows a girl in high school who can see ghosts. She has recently moved to, I believe, California, and her room, she's forced to share that room with a ghost, and that ghost's name is Jesse. So yes. So I think the part of this is, it is a romance, but it's a slow build, and the main focus here is all the shenanigans and her trying to help other ghosts. Each book, it follows her trying to help certain ghosts passed away and things like that. All around, like, there's like in her high school and things like that. Also, being that her father has passed away and she can see her ghost, and she has a new stepfather as well, and stepbrothers, so she's kind of navigating that life as well. But Jessie and her, why can't I think of her name? Susie. Jessie and Susie. So I think the romance kind of happens in the last book or the 5th book, and I realized that there's actually a 6th book that is like part of their marriage and that kind of thing. So, not spoiling anything, yes, Jessie is a ghost. So how can they get married? I don't want to spoil it for you, but yeah, it's very, very cool and interesting, and that 5th book was just so emotional. So yeah, it was such a great young adult or teen fiction that kind of, for me, I just love rereading it, and I love Meg Cabot. So yes, for forced proximity, I recommend this one. It's a little out there, but yes, I recommend that one. All right, round 3. Okay, Amnesia. Oh, Hidden Identity, okay. Amnesia or Hidden Identity? I really wouldn't want to lose my memory, because then I wouldn't be able to trust the person, believe what they're saying. But Hidden Identity. I would want to keep my memories. My memories already have someone whose memory is really bad anyway. I think I'm going to go with a Hidden Identity, and without spoiling anything, okay, I just recently read this one too. It's a dark historical romance. I would say The Highwayman by Kara Byrne. I'm not going to say why it's a hidden identity. They're kind of a story on both sides, but I love this one. This is such a feels very romantic, dark romance, tension, steamy. The bathtub scene was great. This is 5 stars. It is basically had been elevated to my 6-star all-time favorite. So 100 test, you know what I mean? 100% love this one. So yeah, definitely love this. But yeah, definitely, oh gosh, I just love this book so much. Anyway, this follows Dorian Blackwell. He's the Black Heart of Benmore. It's a very, very dark historical romance. He's a scarred and hard-hearted hero, so very morally gray. And it also follows Farah. Now, Farah had a childhood friend named Dugan, and they're both part of like an orphanage. By some sort of thing happens that, you know, her and Dugan get separated. They do have like a wedding that he does to try to save her and help run away when they're 10. I think he was 12. And they'll flash forward years later. Dugan's friend Dorian, who due to circumstances was in like a prison or whatever, and they're called, I think, the Brotherhood of, yeah, they're called the Black Heart Brothers. There you go. So whatever circumstances kind of happened, he's there to, he is basically a notorious criminal, Dorian is, and they somehow become, however, when they come about or encountered, he ends up kidnapping her and whisking her away to his castle. So the castle is very dark gothic vibes to me. I thought it was great. And things ensue from there. So this is such a great read, and I am looking forward to reading book 2, The Hunter, and I've heard great things of The Duke as well. So this whole series, I won my first book by Kerrigan Byrne, and I am already a fan. All right, round 4. That was really hard, guys. Okay, Marriage in Trouble. Grumpy Sunshine. Grumpy Sunshine. Well, I'm not very, I guess maybe my husband's like the grumpy, but I'm not a very sunshine, and I am just not that vibe. So I would probably say a Marriage in Trouble, because I love that trope, but I feel like every marriage has like their ups and downs, and so it's kind of great to kind of recapture that connection. So I think I would go with Marriage in Trouble. And oh gosh, I think, okay, there's 2 of them. Can I say 2? 3? Okay, forgive me. Okay, The Day of the Duchess. I mentioned this before in my top 10 favorites. I just want to mention that. If you haven't checked that video, check it out. But some contemporary ones, it's hard to choose because I loved Forget Me Not by QB Tyler, but I also loved Before I Let Go by Kennedy Ryan. These both hit me right in the heart so much. And I've only read one book by Kennedy Ryan, and she's basically you know, this is all-time favorite 6-star book. So, and the cover is just gorgeous. I love this so much. And this is kind of like a second chance as well, but you know, Marriage in Trouble is like a part of a sub trope of second chance, and I know, I just love this. I love this so much. This one, I just feel like the characters are grown. They have grown kids, you know, kids in middle school and high school, so it really deals like reality in that as well, and I just loved it. I just read this, I think I read this last year, and I read this as an ARC on NetGalley, and I had to buy a copy when it's available. This foiling is just gorgeous. So this follows Yasmin, and my memory is horrible. Just one moment. Okay, so I had to get my notes for this because I couldn't remember exactly what I said about it. But as I said, this was my first book by Kennedy Ryan. I'm an absolute fan. I swear this is like award-winning quality. I'm like, she should be getting a award for this book. I swear, the writing in here was just so deep and emotional, and so good. So this is a second chance romance between a divorced couple. It's also a co-parent, and the main characters also co-own a restaurant business together. We follow Yasmin and Josiah as they are drawn back together and overcome the challenges that drew them apart the first time. For example, trigger warnings like grief, mental health, loss of a child, miscarriage. Their relationship felt so real, and as they felt like real people who have real issues that drew them apart. Her writing really shines in this book, and it very eloquently represents mental health struggles in a modern society, especially people overcoming the perception of mental health. And I have no doubt that this was one of my top reads of the year as well for 2022. So absolutely perfection. This is my first Black love book that I've read, which sadly, that's sad to say, I think. But I definitely want to read more by her and more stories like this because, yeah, it was just so great. All right. Round 5. We'll see if we're going to do a bonus. I don't know. I don't know if we're doing that. All right. Round 5. Okay, second chance. Marriage of Convenience. Okay, well, obviously I like second chance. This is really hard, guys. I don't know. Yeah, I think I'll just have to do second chance because I love that. I don't know if I would want to get married because I have to. That's definitely what I want to do that. Yeah, I'm kind of, yeah, I would not want her to get married because I have to. All right, so I would prefer second chance. So I'm just gonna say. So yeah, I would say Forget Me Not by Phoebe Tyler, and or A Day of the Duchess. So yeah, this is amnesia romance for the man. He actually gets in a car accident, and his memories are back from 2 years before, and they're actually, I think they're in the process of getting divorced or almost divorced. And he just like absolutely loved his wife. Like, why are you like this? And he's like, well, because we're not together. You cheated on me. So he's just shocked that she cheated on him, that he cheated on her, and that he's with someone else right now. So it also deals with some emotional issues and things like that. Some deep issues. So please check the trigger warnings for that. But I don't know. It's just, I love the fact the pining in this and the full on like the gumption that, I don't know if the gumption's the right word, but like the way that the hero was just striving to get her back, and doing all things necessary. And then they also have kind of like a conversation about, you know, what things happen that way. So but yeah, I think I do prefer, I think before I let go on resolving the issues, as you know, getting back together to each other that way. But yeah, still very great read for a second chance. Same thing here. I've said so many things about this recently, but yes, those 3 I would recommend for sure. Okay, I will do a bonus round. We'll see if I could do this. Oh goodness, I'm gonna be doing so much editing. Okay, Forbidden. Why choose? Okay. I don't think in real life, like, I would do a why choose. There's nothing wrong if you do. I just don't think it's a nice fantasy, but real life, no. So I'm gonna have to say Forbidden. I mean, why choose kind of comes across as forbidden, but oh goodness, what would I say? Forbidden. Okay, let me think on that. Okay, this was a hard one. I think I'm gonna go with Praise by Sarah Kate. This was kind of the first book that kind of gave me that feeling from 50 Shades did, and handled it kind of a lot better than 50 Shades, like the racial relationship aspect. But yeah, So I think that's what it is. It's a very ex-boyfriend's dad's trope, and I think the first one I actually read when I was starting to get into this rabbit hole of contemporary spicy romance books, and darker contemporary darker romance books, was Birthday Girl by Penelope Douglas. And that kind of like QB Tyler, that one, this kind of started that whole train in 2020 and 2021 and a little bit last year. So now I'm coming out of my contemporary romances, but still this is one of my top favorites of those. So he owns a club. If you haven't heard of this one, he owns him and 4 friends kind of to go into business together. They start developing an app to kind of connect people based on their kinks, and then they also are opening up a club where Charlotte and, oh gosh, what's his name, Emerson get together. So she and her boyfriend just break up, and she is trying to get her security deposit back from the apartment that they share together, and Bo is just like, get it from my dad, that kind of thing. So she goes to her dad, which, you know, she does get it from him. Sorry. So she goes to his, I think his office is in his house, to request the check back, and he thinks she's there as part of his kink, which is to, you know, the secretary boss kind of BDSM relationship. It is kind of has that very awkward thing, like she like kind of starts complying and all of a sudden they realize like, oh, that's what she's here for, and that kind of thing all ensues, and they really then they eventually start a relationship together. So yeah, it was great, and I think it's still one of my favorites of the series. And I do know like Madam is going to be releasing, I believe, in October, if I'm not mistaken. Alright, so that is the first so that is all 5 rounds plus a bonus round. That was kind of crazy. My first kind of experience into doing a spinner wheel, so we'll see how well that turns out. Alright, that was it. So this was kind of wild and crazy and fun. Please let me know down in the comments what you would have picked, and if you enjoyed this video, I hope you did. Please don't forget to also check out Jess's video. As I said before, I'll have everything posted down below for her details there. I just want to say thanks to Jess for doing this collab with me. It was kind of fun, and I look forward to seeing what tropes she picked and her book recommendations, so that's going to be exciting. I wonder if we have any like crossover. Alright, so that is it. Don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe, and don't forget to hit that notification bell so you can see every time I post. Alright, thank you for watching, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.